Hello, yes, so here we are in the Oxfam charity shop, um, the record and tape and CD division. So I visit this shop occasionally and I bought a few items from there. Let's have a look then. I was in there earlier today and I filmed myself going through the records. I'll start the video. I'm commenting in the video, but I might also stop to make additional comments. So let's start and have a look.
I've not actually seen that one before. Richmond High Fidelity. That's the American version of Ace of Diamonds.
Yeah. I mean, when I say I've not seen it before, I meant I haven't seen that edition before. I recognize it straight away as a Decca recording. Adam Giselle, I've seen it on Ace of Diamonds, and it originally came out, I think, on an SXL 2000. So I'd never seen a Richmond record before. I can't believe it. But in all the years I dealt in records, I never came across an American version of an Ace of Diamonds. So that was interesting to see, but I wasn't interested in the record. Let's keep going.
That's actually not a bad record. Actually, I might buy that. Let me just put that at the front.
Yeah, so obviously the Pinnock, it's obviously not a collectible, but it's on archive. It's probably a German pressing, and the Brandenburg concertos on original instruments. I find that quite sort of interesting for my own collection. I ended up not buying it actually, but I'll explain why later.
I might buy that one as well if the condition's good.
Yeah, I do like archives, particularly the 70s pressings. I think they're quite good, and they've got some interesting repertoire on them. Yeah, that's Seraphim. That's electronically reprocessed mono. That's Beecham Balakirev. I think that must be from an ALP. And Seraphim is an American label which I think used HMV recordings.
So what you want to be doing is basically filming the records I'm looking at if you can.
Oistrakh playing Beethoven. I think I've commented before that Oistrakh, unless he's on a Columbia SAX, is not really that collectible. His recordings are in so many places. It's just amazing. Actually, I skimmed past this one fairly quickly. I quite like these recordings. The Hungarian String Quartet. I rate them, and I rate the Budapest String Quartet as well. So, but believe it or not, I'm not really big on Beethoven when it comes to string quartets. I'm a Mozart and Schubert man. Beethoven string quartets, for some weird reason, just don't sort of have failed to penetrate into my sort of musical consciousness. I've got no idea why. Maybe I just lack that maturity to appreciate Beethoven quartets. I don't know. Okay, yeah, so obviously the Klemperer SAX Beethoven symphonies are collectible, they are interesting, but the 33CX variants mono are not interesting. I must admit that the Beethoven Klemperer are very, very good. I mean, some of them, like the Beethoven Symphony Number 8, Klemperer conducting on an SAX, is just, I think, just about as good as you get where Beethoven is concerned, in my own opinion, anyway. Yeah, Beethoven Symphony Number 2 with Beecham, that's an ALP, and I'm not bothered about that. There is this. Yeah, well, concert classics are not exactly sort of top of my list for buying in. I mean, the stereos are not off top of my list, never mind monos. So yeah, that's a mono of Bizet. Yep, so there we are, Klemperer and Oistrakh in a stereo blue silver. That would be a big money record. It's been priced up at £2.50 in the shop, and frankly, that's about all it's worth as a mono.
That would be good if it was stereo. It'd be like £200.
Okay, Symphony Number 9, Haitink Bruckner. I think I picked this one up to have a look at.
That one might be worth looking at. Let's put that one
out. I spent some time looking at this because I didn't recognize the label. Sapphire. It looks like, let's have a look, Interchord Klassische Discotheque. Is that German maybe? I don't know. I did go past it partly because I didn't like the repertoire. Geezer King was usually collectible. I'm not sure if Geezer King still is collectible. Probably not so much. And here we are. Yeah, the Dvorak series. I've seen this in that shop. These copies were there last time I was in the shop. They're selling for about £3 or £4 each, narrow bands. And I mean, even in the heyday, they didn't really sell, and I saw no reason to be interested in them. They're just narrow bands anyway. Even the wide bands don't really sell. Yeah, that Gounod Mass, St. Cecilia Mass is a lovely piece, I must admit. But again, when I used to have it for sale in my catalogue, it never really seemed to sell. It is a very lovely piece, and I went past it. That's kind of interesting, Alain Hovhaness. The only thing is that I don't really know that composer, and you know, on Unicorn, I mean, had it been Nielsen, maybe I probably would have gone for it, but Hovhaness, no. Yeah, now that record, I've seen it in the shop before. I would be very interested in it. I would pay up to £10 for that record. It's selling for £2. Sadly, it's got a mark on it and it will sound, so that's been there for a while.
Right, just move the camera to here then. Let me just have a look at these.
Yeah, so that Answer May record is an LXT, not an SXL.
Do you want to just step over a bit so you can see?
I like Chandos, but that particular music for wind instruments just did not interest me.
That one might be worth looking at.
Yeah, well, actually, in the shop, I did think it might be worth coming back to, but I didn't buy it. Yeah, I picked this one out, Geza Under playing Mozart piano concertos, because I believe there are tulip pressings on these, and I'm looking out for them for myself, because I'd rather have those than the box set. I've got the Geza Under box set of Mozart, and I'd probably like to sell it and have the individual records if I can.
Just film what I'm doing here.
Yeah, I mean, that's an English pressing as well, so it sort of reduced the... That's not incredibly common, the 40 and 41. I think that's the late 70s. Yeah, and I think I saw that it was a made in England pressing, and I decided not to bother with it. I don't know, maybe I should have had that one for £2. Maybe I should have.
Put that in there.
Yeah, so I'm thinking about a lot of these. I must say, I had half a day of walking with my son around the city, and I was thinking about that as well, whether I really wanted to lug records around unless they were really special. Yeah, Mutza. I think that was the Polish, like Hungaroton is the Hungarian label. Mutza, I think, is a Polish label from Soviet times. Actually, maybe I should have gone for that. I don't know. Yeah, there's a Furtwängler, but look at the jacket. It's torn. Furtwängler's not as collectible as he used to be, and I didn't see any reason to be interested in this one. There's a Chandos record, but it's fairly boring. Mufat and Bibe. No. That wouldn't be bad. I think that's been remastered, high fits, but no, I decided not to go for that. Yeah, that Michelangelo that we just saw in an ASD white and gold, I believe it fetches quite big money. Actually, it didn't used to. In the 90s, it didn't really used to fetch more than about £40–50. I understand now it can go for huge amounts of money, like 500–600, which... Right, let's continue. She's so far away. if you notice, most of the prices, they're like sort of between sort of £2 and £5, which is, okay. If it's a good record, I'm okay to pay that. Let's keep going. That's the famous Answer May recording, Stravinsky Rite of Spring. There is an SXL 2000 Richmond. It looks to me like another sort of Ace of Diamonds equivalent reissue. I think that's mono, not even stereo.
Keep filming. That's an interesting one. Something narrow about it. I'll have a look at that. Let me just take that out so people can see what it is.
Actually, this might have been worth buying for the jacket alone, because the jacket was in superb condition. It's just a narrowband, but still, this is one that I didn't end up buying it, I think, because it was scuffed. Yeah, now that chung there, I don't know if you can see the price there, but it's priced up at something like $6.99, and I would pay £5 for that. $6.99 is a bit too high, so I went past it.
Yeah, I've looked at that one already. I'll just take that one out and show
Yeah, now that's Swan Lake.
it.
Okay, so he's asking £5 for that in this Oxfam shop. I was in this shop 2 weeks previously. I saw that record, I looked at it, I studied it very carefully, and finally I found out why it's only £5. There's a little nick in one of the tracks that will produce a tick of maybe, 20, 30 between 20 and 30 revolutions, and I discarded it for that reason.
Okay, press stop. Press the red button again.
Okay, yeah. So I'm with my son there. I've just asked him to stop recording. Yeah. So that's about it. So what happened was then is that I went through all of those, and I couldn't really justify buying any of them. None of them was sort of really good enough to tempt me. That Nutcracker, I looked at it. It had some scuffing and it had some sort of surface marks, which reduced the appeal of it, and I ended up not buying it. So I ended up absolutely not buying anything at all. And on the way out, I didn't realize this, but they had they had a 3 for £1 section, and they had maybe 100 records in there. I should have really gone through those, but they kind of know what they're doing in that Oxfam shop. So I wouldn't really have expected to find anything in that 50p section, last chance section as they call it. So I left the shop, and that's about it. I then walked around quite a bit with my son, and eventually I found a hi-fi shop. So I'm going to talk about that. Okay, something completely irrelevant before I talk about the hi-fi shop. On my walk, I stopped at a river, and my son had never skimmed a stone before. So I stopped with him and I did a little demonstration and taught him how to skim a stone. Look at this.
It's a good one. It's a good one.
Okay, there we are. Yeah, so I have actually got one talent in life. My only talent, I can actually skim a stone across a river. As you saw, first attempt, and he was impressed, and he actually skimmed a stone. I showed him how to do it, and his first stone jumped 3 times, so that's not bad for a beginner. But anyway, I digress. Yeah, so we kept walking, and eventually we came across this shop in Glasgow. Maybe some of you know it. I was really impressed with it. I didn't go in because I'm not in the market at the moment to buy hi-fi, and I didn't want to waste anybody's time. So I looked in and sort of drooled over the equipment from the outside. I noticed, first of all, I'm showing you some of the photos now. You'll see some of the photos appear of the outside of the shop. I noticed a Riga Planer 3 sitting in the window, some very nice looking speakers, 2 pieces of equipment there that I don't recognize either side of it. What are they? What are they? Are they mono blocks or amplifier? Some kind of amplifier, some brand that I'm not familiar with. They look impressive, I must say. And I noticed something that looks like a Mitchell gyro deck sitting in the shop. I didn't really get a very good photo of it. Maybe you can see it there. There's a yellow turntable which I photographed from the outside. I'm not exactly sure what that is, but with some nice speakers, and another turntable with an amplifier. Have a look at those, comment on them if you want. I really liked the look of the shop, and if I was in the market for hi-fi, I would certainly be happy to go along to that shop and ask for advice and maybe audition some of the equipment. So I know that I bought my Riga on eBay from a Riga dealer, and I bought it secondhand, but I think that it's good to support hi-fi shops if you can. If you're in the market for something, it's probably a good idea to support these shops. You don't really see many of them now, so it was good to see this particular shop, and it looks great from the outside. Okay, so yeah, that's about it. I didn't buy any records, but it didn't really matter. I hope you enjoyed that clip of me going through the records in that Oxfam charity music shop. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.